Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Oklahoma Sooners continuing the traction on the 2024 high school recruiting trail, landing three-star interior offensive lineman Eugene Brooks. And I'll start off with this, and we'll dig into the film. If you wanted to build an interior offensive lineman in a laboratory, it would look like Eugene Brooks, 6'3", 320 pounds. This dude is an absolute fire hydrant, but he plays with the mean streak that Bill Bedenbaugh absolutely loves. And this is a sneaky, really good get for the Sooners. Now, before we get into it, just want to say thank you to the Sooner fans, whether we're talking Taylor Tatum, whether we're doing our freshman spotlight series for Oklahoma. You guys have been absolutely awesome. So appreciate you guys rocking with the boys in a hotel on the road right now. Certainly going to not stop me from talking some Oklahoma Sooners recruiting. Appreciate you guys. And again, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's get into Eugene Brooks and kind of going back to what we said. Interesting story. Started playing out his high school career in Las Vegas. Transfers to Sierra Canyon out in California. And Oklahoma and Texas go head-to-head for this kid. And you kind of see why he was so coveted. Not necessarily the respect according to the 24/7 Sports recruiting rankings, but you talk about a really safe prospect who I have a really hard time not seeing as a Power 5 level starter at some point in this dude's career. It's Eugene Brooks. He already has that physical makeup. He plays with extremely heavy hands. And without further ado, I think we just get into the film. And then we're going to talk about this Oklahoma offensive line class because there are some prospects that I certainly want to mention as potential commits down the road. But I want to talk Eugene Brooks first. Kind of hard to find some film on him. I ended up finding some film from his junior year. And again, one thing I absolutely love is that he plays tackle at high school sometimes. So you see the athleticism kind of be there. Now, it's hard to see him playing tackle at the Power 5 college football level. He definitely has that squattier guard build. But playing tackle at the high school level means you know how to play in space and you're a pretty solid athlete. So firing up the film on Eugene Brooks, you're going to see the athleticism right off the bat. You're going to see him pulling around and getting absolutely – I mean, he gets moving in space, which is something you like to see. And you talk about that dog, that mean streak that he has, taking that dude absolutely to the parking lot, and that helps him up. He's a good guy too, which I absolutely love. Really, really fun film study to watch. And you see the body, like you see the frame. You absolutely love that. But I just love how, I mean, they're motioning him out there to be kind of a lead block fullback. And he's so comfortable in space as well, which, I mean, look at him just take on bodies, putting people in the dirt. His movement skills for someone who's 6'3", 320 pounds, extremely, extremely impressive. And I think that's why so many of these programs wanted a guy like Eugene Brooks. And maybe there's some fullback in his future as well, because he can absolutely get moving. I mean, taking on 2 blocks pretty much there. It's hard to find film that he's not just putting someone in the dirt, just like racking up the pancakes. Now you see him playing like left tackle, standard left tackle. And again, he's very good in space as well, putting people in the dirt. I think this is a really, really complete prospect who, I don't know, maybe doesn't have the upside that 24/7 Sports is looking for, but you see just a safe prospect who's, I mean, you just, it's hard to find flaws in his game. He's got a really, really nice anchor. He moves well in space, as you saw in that pass protection, can get out in front in the run game. A really good get for the Oklahoma Sooners that, I mean, this has been kind of the story of this Sooners recruiting trail is patience, right? It was a slow start, but they're starting to get it going. Obviously, getting Taylor Tatum. You got Jaden Jackson, Devon Mitchell. I mean, the last couple of weeks for Oklahoma, we're talking Taylor Tatum, the best running back in the country. Devon Mitchell, one of the best tight ends in the country. You go down, you flip Ivan Carrion, who's kind of a unicorn prospect, if you will, 6'6", 200 pounds. You flip him from Texas Tech. There is a lot of momentum for the Sooners. And on Jaden Jackson, one of my favorite dudes in this 2023 class. And you take a look at this offensive line, that's probably where you're maybe a little concerned about, right? Because you have Eugene Brooks and you have Isaiah Autry. And those are the only 2 guys that you have in the fold in this 2024 class. And I got 2 things to say. One, I trust Coach Bedenbaugh and his development and his recruiting. Like, he's going to get the guys in. 2 guys I want to talk about, though. One, I want to go out to the state of Texas and talk about Bennett Warren, who for Sooner fans who are watching this in the middle of July, I'm sure you keep an eye on crystal balls and those recruiting type things. A lot of crystal balls have him going to Michigan. I will say, as a Michigan fan, those are kind of rather outdated. He took an official visit to Michigan, said he absolutely loved it, had him at the top of the list, and you saw the crystal balls coming after that. That being said, since then, Michigan's kind of filled up their offensive line recruiting class in the 2024 cycle. And so I could see Bennett Warren maybe pivoting, and a couple other schools that probably on top of his list. I know Tennessee's up there, but Oklahoma's up there as well. So on the surface level, it seems like Oklahoma might not be in that recruitment, but he's from Texas. You're going up against Tennessee. I think Oklahoma certainly has a chance for Bennett Warren, who's an absolute monster at 6'7.5", 330 pounds. And as a Michigan fan, I'd love to take him, but it does seem like Michigan's kind of filling up that class specifically on that offensive line where he might need to pivot to another school as well. And then the other guy who is kind of really hard to get a feel for, Grant Brooks. It's been a wild recruitment, kind of the guy that doesn't get a ton of hype being out from Iowa. Like he's not in that like the Texas area where you're getting a ton of hype. One of the best offensive tackles in the class. 24/7 Sports Composite has him as the 5th offensive tackle. Could also play inside as well. Kind of a wild one, right? Kansas State was in early on him. You saw a lot of crystal balls there. Now Nebraska seems to be the team that has a ton of traction, but Oklahoma is looming there too. And after Oklahoma really trying to fill up this offensive line class, I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma coach Bedenbaugh can kind of get some traction with Grant Brooks too. So on the surface level, maybe you're a little concerned about this offensive line group in that 2024 class, but there are some guys for Oklahoma that I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if they can get in there late. And something we've always talked about is this class might come together a little later than expected, right? If Oklahoma can put together what we think they can on the field in 2023, moving to the SEC, that's when you might see some flip commitments. You get out the spatula. But again, if Brent Venables and this Sooners team can show, hey, we are going in the right direction, we're moving into the SEC, and we are one of the premier teams in that conference, then I think Oklahoma maybe gets a little hot towards the end of this 2024 cycle. But Bennett Warren, Grant Brooks, definitely guys to keep an eye on, but I don't want to overshadow the commitment from Eugene Brooks, who, again, just seems to be such a safe prospect. He's going to be such a solid interior offensive line guy. And again, play tackle at high school. I see him being a phenomenal guard center at the next level. Appreciate you guys checking the boys out as you always do. And if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate y'all, and we'll talk to you guys later.